Take me right back to the start.
What's going on, guys? It's Cold here, bringing you another Rocket League video. Today we're going to be talking about a little experience I've had over the past month or so. I've been doing 1v1 every single day, and I learned a whole lot. And I think I could share a lot of that with you too, and you'll get something good out of it. Please keep in mind that this is more geared towards the lower ranks, so anything up till Diamond, I would say you get a lot out of it. But if you're in that Champ GC rank, a lot of this might sound a little bit obvious to you, and so it might sound a bit repetitive, but feel free to stick around regardless. Happy to have you. But anyways, we'll get the gameplay rolling and we'll get started. So I assume most of you are mainly 2s and 3s players wanting to get a little bit better at 1v1ing. So the first thing that I really noticed from going from 2s to 1s, because I was primarily a 2s person before this, was that there's a lot of times not a rush to hit the ball. That is the first thing that I noticed very quickly. Whenever you rush for the ball, you're really giving up a lot in 1s. You're sending a signal to the opponent basically saying, hey, I'm committing to the ball. And the opponent can just change the direction of the ball, go up, down, wherever. So what I would keep in mind is that there is no rush to make a play. You have to give yourself time to think. Now, don't get me wrong, you definitely have to pressure the opponent and challenge when you need to, but in 1s, the setup is a little bit different. And what I mean by that is essentially you want to challenge your opponent, you want to put pressure on your opponent without having to commit to the ball 100%. If you want to get good at 1s, you have to master the art of fake committing. This will take you so far. Essentially what fake committing is you go towards the ball, you could even use boost if you want to, and give your opponent the impression that you're rushing him. The idea here is that you want to get the opponent to think that you're coming towards him, so then they feel pressured to have to make a play that they don't really need to. Anyways, getting back to what we were saying. In 2s and 3s, a lot of times you can hit the ball towards the center and you can pass it to the teammate. But in 1s, if you do that, you're most likely going to leave the opponent with an open goal and you're going to get scored on. So what you have to do is gain possession of the ball. And by that, I mean that you have to learn how to dribble the ball. You want to be able to catch the ball. And whenever you can catch the ball, you want to be able to start bouncing the ball back and forth, or bouncing it up and forward and do an air dribble. Whatever way you want to do, you have to have possession of the ball. In 1s, you're going to have the most space that you will in any other game mode. There's only one other opponent in the game, so you have so much space to work with, and it is super important to realize that whenever you start playing 1s, when you're transitioning from 2s and 3s. 1s is just a completely different mindset, and it's just an adjustment that you need to make. Once you start playing it enough, you'll start seeing improvement. So that's tip number 1. Don't rush yourself to make a play. Give yourself time to think. Alright, so tip number 2 of me playing solo 1v1s every single day. And that would be, don't rush offense with 0 boost. This almost sounds kind of obvious, but if you really analyze your game, you look at your replays, you'll be surprised with how many times you might actually do this. Because even to this day, I still do that, and it's just sort of an unconscious thought. But whenever you're rushing an opponent and you have the ball and you have possession, you want to get the ball to a boost as fast as possible if you don't have any. Because if you rush offense and you have no boost and you lose your 50, that's an automatic goal for the other team. And to piggyback off this thought, it's also really important to notice when your opponents have boost and when they don't. Because if they do have full boost, then you know you're at equal playing field if you also have full boost. If they have full boost and you have no boost, then you have to make it a priority to get a full boost. And vice versa, if you have full boost and they have no boost, then that means that you can adopt a more aggressive strategy. Alright, so that's lesson number 2 that I learned. And tip number 3, it's not exactly like a strategic thinking kind of way that's going to help you or anything, but one thing I learned about the rank that I played in. So what happened was I started in gold 2 and I have now made my way up to about plat 2, plat 3. What I've noticed within this little range, it's mainly actually, I would say, gold 3, plat 1. At least right now, there's so many people that in 2s and 3s, they're champs. They're champ 1, 2s, 3s. They have like ridiculous mechanics. And they just sit in these ranks, which makes me so perplexed as to how they can just chill in those ranks and not make their way to like at least diamond. Like if you're a champ, how are you not like at least a diamond? That makes no sense to me. But I don't know, that's just something that I've noticed from like talking to all my opponents and whatnot. I just thought it was funny. Alright, this tip's going to be super important if you actually are serious about getting better at ones, but you have to do this. And if you can learn how to do this, it'll translate so well in 2s and 3s, trust me. What this is being fast. And being fast is honestly just a combination of a bunch of little things that if you can think of simultaneously, you'll see improvements very quickly. And some of these little things are recovering from aerials, recovering from flips, recovering from bumps, power sliding effectively, not power sliding when you don't need to. All these little things can accumulate to a lot. And to give you a little bit of example here, I used to do this thing where whenever I went to play defense, I would use all my boosts and I would go straight into my own net to play defense, and I'd power slide, turn my car right into the goal, and then try to play defense from there, and a lot of times I would get beat. This strategy is particularly effective if you were like me, where you play a little bit too conservative and you're kind of afraid to make a mistake, which works for a little bit of time, but eventually once you start ranking up a bit and you get to see people with better mechanics, then you're just going to get beat. So my advice to you is just play fast, play aggressive. If you lose rank, so be it. You'll end up better in the long run. Just stick it out. So I could probably go on forever about everything that I've learned over the past month. So I'm just going to finish it off with one last tip. And this one, I actually started seeing results very quickly just by like thinking about it. Like there's so many little things that you just don't think about. And you know that you should be thinking these things, but like your mind is so fixated doing the same thing and you just don't know what to do. And if you don't get anything out of this video, let's make this that one thing that you get out of it. And this thing is kickoff related. Kickoffs and ones are huge. I'm sure many of you know that. It's very frustrating to get scored on a kickoff and ones. So this tip is don't immediately rush to mid boost immediately after kickoff. So you might be thinking, okay, why would I do that? How else am I going to score and make a play if I can't get mid boost? Well, think of it this way. When you go for a kickoff, it's a two-way street. Neither of you guys likely have boost. So if you can maintain possession of the ball right off the kickoff, even if you don't have that much boost, you could easily score on your opponent. And you'll really be surprised with how often you have these opportunities, but you're kind of blind to the fact that you just want to get that mid boost. And I totally get that. I used to do that all the way up until just recently. But if you start to think of things as a matter of relativity, then you'll start to realize a lot of things that you'd never thought about in the game before. So that's all I have for today. I really hope that you got something out of this and this was meaningful to you. But regardless, if you enjoyed this, please hit like and subscribe. That would mean the world to me, as it lets me know that I'm actually doing a good job and I'm not just talking mindlessly. But regardless, I have my socials linked down below, so feel free to check those out. I stream on Twitch every night, and I'm on Instagram and TikTok. And you heard that right, I'm on TikTok. No shame.